Okay, folks, it is time to troll a little news. Nothing more fun than trolling mainstream media these days. Let's have a little fun. All right. Oh, geez, this isn't even the one I wanted to troll you with. Let's back up and have a little more fun. People who skipped their COVID vaccine are at a higher risk of traffic accidents, according to a new study. Let's read this. We find this Yahoo Finance uh, published. Let's. All right. I'm so busy laughing because this one is so fun. Originally found in Fortune magazine. Here we go. Check out the picture. Boy, she doesn't even know where she's at. What happened? Let's read the article and then have a little fun with it. If you passed on getting the COVID vaccine, you might be a lot more likely to get into a car crash. Or at least those are the findings of a new study published this month in the American Journal of Medicine. During the summer of 2021, Canadian researchers examined the encrypted government-held records of more than 11 million adults, 16% of whom hadn't received the COVID vaccine. They found that the unvaccinated people were 72% more likely to be involved in a severe traffic crash, in which at least one person was transported to the hospital, than those who were vaccinated. That's similar to the increased risk of car crashes for people with sleep apnea, though only about half that of people who abuse alcohol, researchers found. The excess risk of car crash posed by unvaccinated drivers exceeds the safety gains from modern automobile engineering advances and also imposes risks on other road users, the authors wrote. Of course, skipping a COVID vaccine does not mean that someone will get into a car crash. Instead, the authors theorize that people who resist public health recommendations might also neglect basic road safety guidelines. Why would they ignore the rules of the road? Distrust of the government, a belief in freedom, misconceptions of daily risks, faith in natural protection, antipathy toward regulation, poverty, misinformation, a lack of resources, and personal beliefs are potential reasons proposed by the authors. The findings are significant enough that primary care doctors should consider counseling unvaccinated patients on traffic safety, and insurance companies might base changes to insurance policies on vaccination data, the authors suggest. First responders may also consider taking precautions to protect themselves from COVID when responding to traffic crashes. Thank God that vaccine stops the spread, right? Joke intended. Follow up, do some research. The authors added, as it's more likely that a driver is unvaccinated than vaccinated. The findings suggest that unvaccinated adults need to be careful indoors with other people and outside with surrounding traffic, the authors concluded. This isn't the first time that researchers have examined the link between behavior and vaccination status among young adults. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Bioeconomics found a correlation between self-reported risky driving and having skipped their flu vaccine. It examined the survey responses of more than 100,000 Canadians. All right, this story was originally featured in Fortune.com. And I want to make absolutely certain that I give Fortune.com credit for this absolutely stunning piece of stupidity. Who else can I give credit for? And how did they even decide that they were going to publish this? I'm guessing the editor was sitting there, maybe rolling one, smoking it with Justin, having it, maybe, I don't know, hanging out with a Pfizer CEO or some other such insanity. All right. Let's, where do we even want to start with this one, guys? Which one of these stunning statements would you like to start with? Oh, geez, of course, skipping a vaccine does not mean that someone will get into a car crash. Instead, the authors theorize that people who resist public recommendations might also neglect basic road safety guidelines. So for those that didn't take it, you're bad people. We don't want you thinking for yourself. We want you to be good little sheep. We want you to go bah. When we ask you what your response should be, you should respond bah. I'm guessing that's what they're saying. They didn't look at the correlation at all. They only looked at vaccination status between all these. They theorized that if you did and you didn't take it, well, you're uneducated. Education level seems to make a difference if you're going to take it or not. Or maybe it's just part of that brainwashing part where you're just going to accept whatever your government tells you, right? Let's think about this a little bit more. Who drives more miles? The perhaps less educated? You can make that argument, although education and degrees rarely correlate with education. I know that is a controversial view, but have a deep conversation with somebody with a college degree and see how open-minded most of them are. There are certainly exceptions, but it does make a awesome place to indoctrinate in this commentator's opinion. I don't know about yours, but let's get back to it. Let's take a look. Who's on the road? Well, the working class is on the road. The rest of the folks with those high degrees that are obviously smarter than the rest of us, well, they're not on the road very much. They commute, they work from home. So they might get to work in the morning, they might come home in the evening, but they're not out delivering your goods. They're not plowing your fields. They're not bringing you food. They're not even delivering your medicine to the pharmacy. Why, those are the folks that question it. Those are the folks that are our working crew. So, of course, the unvaccinated make up a higher percentage that are involved in car accidents because, well, they drive immensely more miles than their vaccinated kin do. Maybe we should have considered that. Of course, you could make the argument that that's education level and that affects vaccination status. Somehow, I don't think you can really make that correlation very well. The authors of this study, I think, missed a lot of the low-hanging fruit in a desperate attempt to find some kind of evidence to support their claim. Some other way to convince people to alienate those that were willing to think for themselves. My takeaway, nobody trusts modern, well, I shouldn't say nobody. Trust in modern medicine has taken a serious nosedive. There have been many surveys at this point that point it out. But I would just like to let you guys know that this is one of the yet latest attempts to shame you into running off. Because, well, I don't know. You're risky. You might think for yourself. You might not do what they want. Guys, I'm still just laughing at this one. Having too much fun trolling over here, guys. I'm just going to leave it right there before I get myself in trouble. Have fun with it. Read it yourselves. I will include a link in the description. Bye, guys.